To another episode of the Capital Gains Tax Solutions podcast, also streamed on Expert CRE Secrets podcast, where we believe most high net worth individuals and those who help them, they struggle with clarifying their capital gains tax deferral options. Not having a clear plan is the enemy, and using a proven tax deferral strategy such as the Deferred Sales Trust is an amazing way for you to exit highly appreciated businesses, real estate, cryptocurrency, so you can create and preserve more wealth or help your clients, friends, and family do the same. Hey, I'm your host today, Brett Swarts, and each episode I'm joined by some of the best real estate, financial, wealth, and business minds in the world, where they share their ideas, deal stories, and inspiration. So together we make complex tax deferral strategies simple and passive income plans achievable. I'm excited about our next guest. She's out of the great state of Texas, and she's the co-founder of Real Equity Investment Partners. And she has a diverse background of healthcare administration after 24 years working as a nursing home administrator and in the healthcare field for almost 30 years. She grew a passion for real estate and realized that in the early 1990s, it was not until 2018 that Robin made her first real estate investment. And after many, many years, she now wants to help others do the same, to be able to invest in multifamily syndications, and also build passive wealth and so much more. Please welcome to the show with me, Robin Binkley. Robin, how you doing?
Hi, I'm great. And thanks for having me on the show. I look forward to just sharing my journey and hopefully a few golden nuggets for some folks who are out there that are looking at, how do I get involved? Well, how do I start?
Excellent. And for those getting to know you for the first time, would you give us a little bit more about your story and your current focus?
Yes. So as you had mentioned, I was a W-2 employee. I worked for many years as a nursing home administrator in the healthcare industry and loved that. Part of, I think, the passion that carries over into what I'm doing now is helping people. And so that wasn't just the individuals that I was responsible for as far as caretaking, but also the staff. In helping them in all of their life issues. So flash forward, my husband and I, like so many folks, he was a W-2 employee, still is. He is a second generation business owner for a civil engineering company that we recently sold almost 2 years ago. And is still in a transition state there. And I bring that up, that's very important, because we would invest in, different real estate deals with our own money. Okay. Just like most people do. But what we learned over the last couple of years is about syndicating. And honestly, I'd never even heard that word. I had heard, use other people's money, figure out how to do that, but nothing that really taught us about how to do that, what is syndicating. And so a couple of years ago, we attended a seminar by the real estate guys, Robert Helms and Russell Gray, where we learned about syndication. And it was about that same time that we started our syndication business, which is called Real Equity Investment Partners. And so that's how we started. And and I did retire from healthcare, and I do this full time.
That's amazing. So let's dive right into the topic at hand, Robin. And that's an amazing background. And it's cool how you moving from the W-2 to the multifamily syndication business and helping other people build passive wealth and also real wealth, right? Beyond just the traditional ways of investing. Let's say the stock market, right? So, but let's dive right into the topic at hand, which is build your team, build your wealth. So Robin, what is the number one secret that you found to be able to build your team so you can build your wealth?
So the number one secret for me that's been exponential in our growth is the right CPA. So we had a great CPA, but we did not have a CPA that was seasoned in real estate or investing. And so that was the key partner that we added first to our team. And then simultaneously, we were needing to engage legal counsel. And so legal counsel was the second big piece that we added to our team. And I say that because my legal counsel works collaboratively with my CPA. And so what does that mean? We literally get on phone calls quarterly. Initially, it was monthly because we were establishing so many LLCs, looking at our asset mapping. How did all of that map out? What did it look like visually? And setting up those business structures. So we took about a year with that, because as your business begins to grow and you have all of these LLCs, they have to be put in the right buckets or structures. And then you have to operate it all as a business. And eventually you move to having a management company and all of those pieces. But there's a process with that. And so those were truly the two key pieces with the foundation of our business that helped us with our investments, but also helped us with our life, with selling a business.
Excellent. So it sounds like having a great CPA who is really the
Absolutely.
right CPA is a better way to put it,
Yes.
who's seasoned with real estate and
Mhm.
is seasoned with investing, perhaps not just a CPA who is just doing tax reporting. Is that a fair summary so far?
It's completely fair, because I
Excellent.
would bring things to my CPA's attention that I had learned, and they would say, "Oh, you're right. That's good. We can do that." But what you need is somebody that can kind of bring it to your attention, because you
Yep.
don't know. You're not the tax expert.
Yep. Yeah. It sounds like you want to make sure someone's being proactive and not being reactive from what you bring to them. More so, they're proactive to bring you great strategies to help you grow your wealth. Is that a fair summary?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Now, what's the number two secret to building your team and building your wealth?
Well, understanding who you are and what you're about, building your brand and your network, which is kind of a simultaneous process. What is your investment strategy? Who are you? What's your mission, vision, values? So that's really important to understand what you're about, because that allows you then to get placed into the right groups of individuals for investment partners and deal flow. Um, and then as you build your network, it's really important not to just speed date with people, but understand and get to know who it is that you're connecting with, and understand what their needs are, what they're about. Because as you have deals and you connect the right person to the right deal, it's going to be a yes. But if you're just trying to sell someone on what you're doing and it's not what their need is, it's not going to work.
Got it. So it sounds like you want to build your network, but while you're doing that, you got to understand who you are and what your brand is, right? And also
Yeah.
what your mission, vision, and values is, and then always focusing on whoever you're helping, what's specifically going to help them for what they're trying to solve for, not
That's
necessarily what you just have to offer.
right. Right. Absolutely.
Excellent.
Absolutely.
So what's the number three secret to building your team and building your wealth?
So, I would say that it's really about going deep, not wide. Okay. And by that, I mean, as you're building your brand and your network, you're really like in such a growth mode that sometimes you forget the simple things. And the simple things that really grow you and build you are certainly deeper relationships, but that's also about the places that you put yourself. So the circles of influence, the people who are around you. And so, you become the summation of the 5 people or handful of people that you hang around the most. So you have to kind of look at, who are you connecting with? We all have great friends who we've been friends with for 30, 40 years. Brett and I certainly do. And so that kind of dates me and tells you I'm in my 50s, and I'm really good with that. Um, and those friends have had great places in our life and still do, but they're not necessarily the folks who are on the same trajectory that I am, enjoy learning like we do, engage in seminars, and bring that back for application and share with our investors, share with the folks who are in our database, and really just getting to know people personally. So you have to look at, who are you surrounding yourself with, and if you're not surrounding yourself with if you can say 5 people, who are the 5 people you want to be around? Make that list and make that happen.
Excellent. So it sounds like go deep and not wide. And also make sure you're
Mhm.
being very intentional with the people you're spending the most time and energy with, especially those that are aligning with your values, have, aligning with, major impactful visions,
Mhm.
and that are, going in the same level of intensity for purpose. Is that a fair summary, Robin?
Fair summary. Yes. Yes, Brett.
Excellent. Great. So maybe we can transition a little bit into, and by the way, you can check out Robin's Amazon best-selling book,
Yes.
Next Level Your Life. That's Next Level Your Life. You can also learn more about Robin Binkley by going to realequityip.com. That's
Mhm.
realequityip.com. I also really appreciate, Robin, that you have a passion for helping women aspire to learn financial education and money management, and inspiring the vision and help for women. I have 4 daughters myself. um,
Okay.
Growing up, my parents divorced. I was with my mom most of the time and my grandma, and so I have
Okay.
some really strong women, right? And my wife and I have 4 daughters and 1 son, and so we're inspiring to instill
Mhm.
entrepreneurialism, money management, finance, cash
Mhm.
flow quadrant, rich dad, poor dad, all of those amazing
Mhm.
things. So just
Mhm.
talk a little bit
Mhm.
about your passion for particularly helping women to aspire to financial freedom.
Okay, excellent. So I want to talk about that, but I also want to bring in, since I do have girls, how we are teaching them about money management, which speaks to a lot of what we are about. So I have a business partner, certainly my husband, Brett Binkley, with Real Equity Investment Partners, but I also have another business partner, Courtney Muller, and we together have a podcast called Ladies Kicking Assets. And so we're pretty passionate about bringing women to the level of education where they understand what's a balance sheet, what goes on it, how to analyze what you've got, have intelligent conversations. Because most of the time, what I found, especially in the circles that I have floated in for many years, is that your partner, your husband, whomever that might be, primarily takes care of your investments. And you just kind of default that, even though you might be a working professional businesswoman. And so as I began to grow my educational understanding in real estate and syndicating, I thought, my gosh, when you start looking around, there's very few women. It's about 20% women, 80% men. And I thought, there's a real need here, to kind of understand what's going on and to have the knowledge base to make financial decisions and investments if you want to. I mean, women are smart. We're highly intelligent. And so, we manage all kinds of things. And so, certainly making investments or running a syndication is perfectly okay for us to do. And we are highly capable of being successful in that arena. And so, that is essentially the people group, if you will, that I love to focus in on and drill into is women and that piece. And how we do that is, bringing alongside folks that we're learning from, bringing forth information, doing some mentoring. So it kind of covers a myriad of that. But I want to speak specifically about, since I am mother of 3 girls, 3 adult children, what you realize is that kids don't learn anything about financial education in school. Certainly don't learn it in grade school, and you're not learning it in college and your post, college, education. And so you have to be able to put yourself in circles and learn about it. But what we've done with our business, because we do love to, focus on mentoring and coaching, is that we have monthly meetings with our family office, and we have agendas, and we do book studies, and we're very transparent with our investments. And how do we get our adult children involved in, interested in, because it has to be in their timing. You can't force it. We kind of tried that and that doesn't work. So
Mhm.
it's really got to be in their own timing. And when they see your successes, believe me, they want to jump on that bandwagon because they don't want to, or at least my kids don't, they don't want to be on that habit trail of a gerbil, just, circle, 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 same old thing, W-2 job. They want to grow wealth and be able to live a life of design. And so
Perfect.
that's been pretty powerful.
Love it. That's amazing. I love your
Mhm.
passion for that. And I love that. Yeah, I think the first thing is recognizing that the traditional financial education system is broken. And
It is.
they're broken a long time ago by not teaching the major things that are going to be for the future of wealth accumulation, entrepreneurship, just basic financial education
Yeah.
and budgeting and ways to grow your wealth, which is such a big part of life. And so I love that you're being very intentional about that, and you're mentoring and coaching, and you're empowering women and everybody to get on board. If you want to learn more about Robert Binkley, check her out by going to realequityip.com. Realequityip.com. That being said, Robin, are you ready to transition a little bit into some capital gains tax deferral options?
Sure. So,
Let me ask the question real fast. What's the biggest frustration when it comes to the 1031 exchange? I'm curious, in kind of your expertise there.
so I don't have a whole lot of expertise there. I will be very frank about that. We've looked at some options, let me just say, with some deals that we have done. Um, and one of the things that happened to us is we sold a business. Well, we sold a business where we had a partner. So we really were not able to, um, but we also own a building. Let me back up a little bit. We also own a building, a commercial building, and so with this particular partner that we have not sold, but we have looked at some options. And so to move into a 1031 exchange in that situation is a little bit tricky because you can't 1031 exchange when you've got two different businesses, as I understand it, and you're selling a business to put those dollars into another project to defer capital gains. So one of the strategies that we've had to do that was not a 1031 exchange when we sold our business is fast and furiously within the last quarter of the year. When we did that, we had to invest our dollars into certain types of structures like agricultural, buying a ranch, carbon scrubbers, um, some investments that were like crazy all at the end of a year, but they weren't 1031 exchanges.
Yeah, we call that the shotgun wedding, right?
Well, I
Where-
did it. We did it, and it was crazy. Um,
yeah, it's
and
a
you
shotgun
learn a
wedding.
lot. You learn a lot. Let
Yeah,
me say.
yeah. So the traditional challenge with the 1031 exchange is it's like Blockbuster in that you typically not getting what you really want, right? Like you typically wouldn't be investing into carbon scrubbers or maybe even buying that ranch or putting into agricultural, essentially doing all these backflips and sidekicks to get, be able to defer that tax or get some tax mitigation or whatever that might
Mhm.
actually do for you. And so the problem is the tax tail ends up wagging the investment dog. And that's what puts people in challenging situations like we're in right now, where people
Mhm.
had 1031 exchange and overpaid for properties the last few years, with especially multifamily cap rates being very low and interest rates were very low. And now they have these adjustable rate mortgages. And these adjustable rate mortgages are now going to put them in a cash flow negative position. And they're going to start hurting with their all of their investments, right? Or some of their investments. And they might have to have to work out something with the bank or sell at a discount. And so the idea is to not sell high and buy higher 180 days later, or sell like a business that doesn't even qualify for a 1031 and then have to put it into something that you don't really want to invest in. The idea is to put it into something that can give you freedom of
Mhm.
time, freedom of choice, freedom of diversification, dollar cost average, freedom of asset type. And so we want to encourage everyone to go to capitalgainstaxsolutions.com to learn about that, how to eliminate the 1031 exchange using something called a deferred sales trust that works for businesses, crypto, works for it can save a failed 1031 exchange, public or private stock. And the cool thing is you can invest it back into things that make sense for you at your own timing, rather than putting into things that maybe doesn't make as much sense for you. So go to capitalgainstaxsolutions.com to learn more about that. Any thoughts on that, Robin, before we move to the lightning round?
Well, I want to say that I love what all you're talking about and how it's information that a lot of folks just don't have access to. So, I mean, my comment to there is I'm going to read more into that myself. I love the fact that every day I'm talking with someone and I learn something myself. And so I love that you've got that available for your guests.
Thank you. Excellent. Let's go straight to the lightning round. So, Robin, knowing what you know now, if you could go back to your 25-year-old self, what's the one golden nugget you'd make sure to tell yourself to do?
Oh gosh. Um, I would I would attend more conferences on growing wealth. I didn't do that in my 20s. I read about real estate, did those things, but I didn't attend things which would have changed my circle of influence, I believe.
Excellent. What is the number one book you've recommended or gifted the most in the past year?
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm going to show them to you right here on my desk.
Yeah.
The Gap and the Gain. Gap in the Gain, was a powerful book for me, but it's also a book that we're using as our book study in our family office meetings. So I'm coaching that information to my adult kids.
Excellent. Amazing. Number 3 question. What's the number one leadership quote or theme that you strive to live by?
The number one leadership quote I learned, I'm getting tongue-tied on that.
It could be a theme too. It could be like a theme, like this is the general theme. It doesn't have to be an exact quote,
Live an abundant mindset, because mindset allows you to succeed or spiral down. And when your mindset is about abundance, you're thinking bigger than yourself and allowing things to be ushered into your life.
Fantastic. Second to last question. What are you most curious about right now?
Oh gosh, the thing I'm most curious about right now is learning more from all of the folks that we're hearing over the last week with what's happening in our banking system and the economic way of our world. I mean, I'm really pressing in and just listening to information, reading information, connecting with our financial advisor and our CPA, and looking at all of our accounts and how those things are styled. And that's really what I'm most interested in right now, and passing that information on.
And for those who are curious, if you're watching this a different date, this is SVB. It's collapsed as of a couple of days ago in the Silicon Valley, big bank, and there's others that are maybe following or it's happening right now. It's kind of a big, it's obviously a big deal. It's really serious. And so being wise about having good team members in place to help you navigate these changing times is a really smart thing to do. Last question, Robin, after all your success, helping all the people you've helped, growing the business you've grown, how do you stay centered in your values, and how do you stay encouraged to charge forward to reach new heights?
Okay. To stay centered in my values, I tell you, first and foremost, I have a quiet time every day. And that's a spiritual time that I have. I think that's essential in your life, and it drives everything. But I'm also looking at the noise. What's really unnecessary? Where am I spending a lot of unnecessary time that doesn't really grow things? And I'm eliminating those things. So I'm saying no to more things than I'm saying yes to.
Great wisdom.
Yeah,
Robin Binkley, I want to thank you for being on the show. I want to thank you for sharing insights, wisdom, inspiration with us.
Yes, thank you.
I want to thank you for leading in finance and wealth and moving from the W-2 for the multifamily syndicator. And I want to thank you for helping us to think wealth, for building a team to be able to build our wealth. I want to encourage you to keep doing what you're doing to help more people. That being said, if people want to find you, would you remind them one last time what's the best place for them to find you?
So the best place for them to find me is team at realequityip.com. Our website is realequityip.com. You can go there. You can click on that link, but you can send a direct email to team at realequityip.com.
Amazing. Thank you, Robin Binkley. And I also want to thank the rest of our listeners for listening to another episode of the Capital Gains Tax Solutions podcast, also streamed on Expert CRE Secrets, where we believe most high net worth individuals and those who help them, they struggle with clarifying their capital gains tax deferral options. Not having a clear plan is the enemy. Using a proven tax deferral strategy, such as the Deferred Sales Trust, is an amazing way for you to create and preserve more wealth, defer millions of dollars of capital gains tax, on the sale of any type of asset. So again, you can create and preserve more wealth and help your clients, friends, and family do the same. If you are interested in learning more, I want to offer you our free ebook, and you can go to capitalgainstaxsolutions.com to learn basically the 9 steps of getting started today to sell your asset and to exit in a way that provides some massive freedom for you and your family. You can also check out the new book that is coming out soon in about 20 days. It's called Building a Capital Gains Tax Exit Plan. And it's the proven playbook for unlocking your ideal wealth plan when selling assets of any kind for yourself or your clients. We have people like the Kevin Harrington from Shark Tank in the book. And I think I have a couple chapters too, and a couple other really amazing multifamily financial advisors that are in the book talking about how to build wealth and how to do it in a way that's going to create some freedom for you and your family. So check that out, Building a Capital Gains Tax Exit Plan. Thanks so much for listening, everybody. Please give us a little love if you can on a subscription and or a thumbs up or a rating. We appreciate that, and we'll talk to you again real soon. Bye now.